My name is Henry Young, and I'm a professor of Communication Studies and Conflict and Peace Studies here at the Metropolitan Campus, and I always like to let my audience know that I'm a proud graduate of Tri-C. So it is my pleasure to welcome you to our Earth Week activities of my honors public speaking class in collaboration with Professor Lindsay Milam's Introduction to Drama class. And today our classes are going to be doing a stage reading of an original play based on Tri-C and the City of Cleveland's sustainability plans. And the play is entitled The Green Book 2, and it was written by Mr. Cornell Calhoun III, who is a nationally award-winning playwright and movie director, and he's also the Arts and Culture Coordinator for the City of Cleveland. And Mr. Calhoun has been coming into my classes probably about 7 years now, working with my honors students, and it's become an exciting and enriching activity for our students to learn about sustainability activities in the community, but also it gives them an opportunity to practice their public speaking and performance activities. But before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge several people who are responsible for Mr. Calhoun's continued collaboration with Tri-C. First, I'd like to thank Matthew Gray, Chief of Sustainability, Mayor's Office, Kristen Hall, Director, Mayor's Office of Sustainability, who comes in every year and gives us an informative presentation about sustainability activities in the City of Cleveland. And I always say this, and this is true, she always encourages us to drink the water and not buy bottled water, because the water in Cleveland is safe and healthy, so keep that in mind. Next, I'd like to thank Natoya Walker Minor, Chief of Public Affairs, City of Cleveland, David November, Tri-C Sustainability Manager, Tri-C Metro's theater production crew, who has set all of this up for us, the lighting, the microphones, everything. And last but not least, Tri-C Metro's Environmental Committee. And I'd like to give a shout out to Professor Lindsay Milam, who is our rock and who is our organizer and keeps us on task. So sit back and enjoy the play.
The Green Book 2 by C. Hubert Calhoun III for Dr. Henry Young and Professor Lindsay Milam.
The resources we use today are essential to so many areas of our lives, including work, transportation, schools, government, technology, and many, many more. These resources will also be important to people living 10, 50, or 100 years in the future. The problem is they might run out by then. If we are to all continue to get along and live happily without running out of the things that we use today, and if people are going to continue to be able to work in some of our most important areas that use and make things, we need new, sustainable sources. We will need newly invented materials or natural resources that we can quickly and easily replace. Sources that are sustainable and will keep refilling, no matter how much we use, how much we take out, and how many more people are going to want to use them. Cuyahoga Community College and the City of Cleveland are partners in the sustainability effort to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs.
In 2019, we are celebrating the Year of People. Like the Year of Vital Neighborhoods in 2018, we will be bringing together celebration topics from previous years, such as clean water, sustainable transportation, and vibrant green space, to engage residents and community and business leaders in making Cleveland more sustainable. We also plan to recognize and celebrate many of the individuals who have helped shape the Sustainable Cleveland 2019, SC 2019, initiative since its founding in 2009. At its core, SC 2019 is built on engaging citizens to reshape our city's future. This was our Mayor Frank G. Jackson's vision in 2009. SC 2019's motto, "Together we're building a thriving green city on a blue lake," emphasizes empowerment, cooperation, action, quality of life, and abundance. People, not programs, are the answer to true and lasting climate action and sustainability in Cleveland. This means that a whole system, citizen-centered approach will be needed to align climate action with the assets, capacity, and priorities of Cleveland residents and business owners.
How did an awareness of sustainability begin? What prompted the first discussions? I'm not certain, but perhaps it was one brave soul and the Green Book 2. The Green Book 2 by C. Hubert Calhoun III, presented by the honors students of Dr. Henry Young and the drama class of Professor Lindsay Milam. A long, long time ago, 297 AC, the continent was ruled by King Louis IV of the House Metro, fourth of his name, king of the King's Tower and the First Men, lord of the four kingdoms, House Metro, House Western, House Eastern, and House Quicken. Life was good and wasteful. Extravagance was in abundance and the order of time. Except on a small farm in House Metro, where farmer Mormon Green began a mission of sustainability until the nosy neighbors became suspicious of his green activities and went to the authorities. Mormon Green was charged and brought to the High Court at King's Tower.
Now comes the tale of how the continent of Cuyahoga, four kingdoms, House Metro, House Western, House Eastern, and House Quicken became united in the cause for sustainability. You better be ready when winter comes.
Time, 297 AC. Place, the High Court King's Tower. At Rise, the courtroom is packed with residents, both lords and commoners. There is a fever of anticipation as a well-respected member of the community is on trial. King Louis enters.
All rise! Your Grace.
I, Louis IV of the House of Metro, the fourth of my name, King of the Tower and the First Men, Lord of the four kingdoms, House Metro, House Western, House Quicken, and House Eastern, will preside over this trial.
Be seated.
And who sits on the small council?
Your Grace, the small council consists of Lord Ali, House Western, Lord Curry, House Eastern, Queen Gwendolyn, House Metro, and Lord James of House Quicken.
And what of the High Visionary? Why is the High Visionary not present and in my court?
Of her absence, I am at a loss, Your Grace.
Was the High Visionary not informed? Were not documents of this complex case not forwarded to her by ravens?
The High Visionary was indeed informed. Notes of the case were sent to her by ravens, Your Grace.
Am I to assume all the ravens have lost their way?
No, Your Grace.
Or am I to assume the High Visionary of the four kingdoms assumes that I, Louis IV of the House of Metro, fourth of my name, King of the Tower and the First Men, Lord of the Four Kingdoms, House Metro, House Western, House Eastern, and House Quickens, has been such a kind and generous chap for the past 30 days that I might not consider removing her fat head?
I am not at liberty to say what such a woman of wisdom like the High Visionary is thinking, Your Grace.
You are not, but surely I am. Terrell Magi, Hand of the King, Keeper of the Realm, go to the Bluestone Castle and show the High Visionary her way to my court.
Yes, Your Grace.
Without delay.
At once, Your Grace.
Are the present members of the High Court Small Council prepared to serve?
We are, Your Grace.
Then let us proceed. Who is brought to this court to be tried?
Mormon Green of House Metro.
Indeed. I have known the Green family for many decades. Mormon Green's father, Ward Green, was a trusted friend of the crown before the angels called him to service. Mormon Green was godson of the great-great-grand Meester. What is the charge?
Charges, Your Grace. They are before you.
So they are. Who will present these charges for the crown?
I, John the Litigator, will present the charges for the crown, Your Grace.
Indeed. And who is present to give Mormon Green of House Metro counsel?
I am my own counsel, Your Grace.
Oh, a proper lawyer it is.
I am not a proper lawyer, Your Grace, but I'm a man who knows his rights, and I will have them.
Your rights you will certainly have on this day, Mormon Green, but know this. If found guilty, may the gods have mercy on your soul. Mormon Green of the House Metro, you are charged with conspiracy against the crown, claiming in public in a huge voice that the crown was given to conspicuous consumption via conspicuous waste, burying uneaten or partially eaten food in what you called a compost garden, claiming that raw, conspicuous materials the crown uses each day, such as rock, water, and oil, will one day run out, storing and hoarding food, planting barley rather than the preferred wheat, and claiming that small wood fires are making the air dirty. Are you guilty of such crimes?
I am only guilty of the crime of sustainability, Your Grace.
Sustainability?
Yes, Your Grace. Sustainability.
Foolability, to be sure, Your Grace.
Enemy of the crown!
Sustainability is the ability for one to keep the one's resources, to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of our children and our children's children to meet their own need, Your Grace.
The hand of the king arrives.
Your Grace, the High Visionary was not at the Bluestone Castle.
And you don't say? And you did not see her about?
I did not, Your Grace.
I will have her fat head yet. Is a small council ready to proceed?
We are, Your Grace.
The crown may call its first witness.
The crown calls Edith Small.
Edith Small!
Edith Small emerges from the crowd and crosses center.
Are you a loyal supporter of the crown?
Now and forever.
Now and forever!
Do you swear by all the gods that your testimony will be true and honest?
I do.
Speak to the crown.
I did travel to visit my good neighbor, Mormon Green, to borrow some seeds of wheat. He stated that he had no seeds of wheat to barter, but seeds of barley, which I refused. While walking through his shed, I noticed several hundred bags of seeds he was storing. When Miss Greenville questioned, he stated we must save seeds for the future. I said, what future? Then with my own eyes did I see him bury remnants of yesterday's meal in a small brick enclosure. When questioned, he said the food made the dirt rich. When I said rich like gold, he laughed and went on his way.
You may step down. Thank you for the courage of your testimony.
The crown calls Waverly Lane.
Waverly Lane!
Waverly Lane emerges and crosses center.
Are you a loyal supporter of the crown?
Now and forever.
Now and forever!
Do you swear by all the gods that your testimony will be true and honest?
I do.
Speak to the crown.
At the public market,
the accused did mount the gibbet and in a huge voice denounced burning wood fires, saying wood fires dirty the air, although that was not the word he used.
Police!
Silence! You will not speak unless spoken to.
Yes, pollute. He also said Merle Redwine and her mother were polluting the water when she did dump some old clothes into the blue waters. He grabbed some things that had fallen by the river and carried them away.
You may step down. Thank you for the courage of your testimony.
The Crown calls Marcus DeBose.
Marcus DeBose!
Marcus Du Bois emerges and crosses center.
Are you a loyal supporter of the Crown?
Now and forever.
Now and forever! Do you swear by all the gods that your testimony will be true and honest?
I do.
Speak to the Crown.
Tuesday passed in Court Square. Mormon Green approached all residents who would listen. One by one, he told them how the Crown is using up natural resources like water, rock, and oil at an alarming rate with no regard for future generations. He said it was a travesty.
You may step down. Thank you for the courage of your testimony.
John the litigator, do you have any more voices for the Crown?
I do not, Your Grace.
Facilitator?
Mormon Green, come forward!
Enemy of the Crown!
Are you a loyal supporter of the Crown?
Now and forever.
Now and forever!
Do you swear by all the gods that your testimony will be true and honest?
I do.
Speak to the Crown.
Your Grace, small council, lords, commoners, it was not my desire to upset the apple cart, but the continent of Cuyahoga and the four kingdoms are in peril. The time to act is now. The time to act is now more than ever before. Long winter will soon be upon us. Every man, woman, and child will be impacted severely if we do not make haste. My godfather, the great-great-grand mister, showed me the direction to take before he departed to soar with the angels. He said the words were recorded by our ancestor in the archives of the Citadel.
There is no such document. We searched the archives at the Citadel.
Do you question the word of the great-great-grand mister?
No. Not if the great-great-grand Meester were speaking the words in this court. He is not!
The word he spoke were of a long, long, hard winter. You cannot deny that everyone in the four kingdoms knows the wrathful winter. We must be prepared. We must protect the land we fight, work, and play on. We must help to preserve the land for our children and our children's children. We must cherish earth, water, and earth. We must cultivate the land and sell our harvests in volume. As you know, winters are unyielding. Wheat versus barley for these less salt-tolerant, store grain for the future, refrain from dumping waste into our waters. Find other ways to produce fire than burning wood that pollutes the air. If what I speak and what I do is a crime, if cherishing and protecting our future and future generations is pledging my life to the cause of sustainability, then I am guilty.
And you cannot produce any written documents of the words that you have spoken?
I cannot, Your Grace.
Small council, do you need to confer?
We do not, Your Grace.
What say you then?
We find the accused Mormon Green guilty of conspiracy against the Crown. That's crazy.
Mormon Green, I, Louis IV of the House Metro, fourth of my name, King of the Tower and the First Men, Lord of the Four Kingdoms, House Metro, House Western, House Eastern, and House Quickens, sentence you to...
The High Visionary enters carrying a small burlap bag.
Right here, Grace. It's here. It's here.
Ah, what have we here? A fat head for wanking? The High Visionary appears.
My sincerest apologies, Your Grace, but I was on a mission. My horse nearly collapsed and I pushed him to the limits so that I might arrive at the High Court and the Smart Council in a timely manner.
Quite timely, I would say.
As much as can be considered, Your Grace.
Indeed. And where did your travels take you to? Abel's Tavern?
Your Grace,
I was merely just busting your... what light can you shed on this case?
Your Grace, when the 4 Waverns dropped down with the charges against Mormon Green, I was astonished. I was flabbergasted. As Mormon Green is such a responsible, caring resident of the House Metro, I did immediately take my leave. I felt it was my duty to do as much as I could about his Green activities and determine if these activities of Green were indeed a conspiracy against the crown. I did travel to the Citadel, to the House of All Records.
You wasted your time, High Visionary. Before preparing our case naturally, we searched the Citadel to see if there were papers that reflected Mormon Green's green activities. We searched the Citadel near and far, but could find a single record
Well,
of...
apparently, in your searching, you did not search the floor near Vault 7. The floor is where I found the document that details all the green activities that Mormon Green has been implementing. Perhaps your weary intern pushed the document too hard or too far and dislodged it. It lay on the floor in the darkened room.
That is a very interesting looking document. Odd color.
Indeed, Your Grace, odd, but it details all the aspects of sustainability and why every man, woman, and child should work together for a better and sustainable world.
Well, small council, in lieu of this new and riveting information from our High Visionary, I propose we convene and meet to discuss these green activities for the purpose of implementing the ideas proposed in the document and follow the lead of Mormon Green of House Metro.
If the High Visionary and the Grace propose this new direction, the small council is certainly in agreement.
What say you, council?
Now and forever.
Mormon Green, come forward. Do you pledge your alliance to the crown and the 4 kingdoms?
I do.
Here we go.
You are free to return to your farm and continue your practice of sustainability.
Thank you, Your Grace.
From this day forward, from this day to the last day, Mormon Green, I name you Lord of Sustainability.
Mormon Green kneels.
Rise.
Mormon Green rises.
Terrell Magi, hand of the king, keeper of the realm, gather 100 good men to assist Lord Green with sustainability efforts in the 4 kingdoms of the continent of Cuyahoga.
Yes, Your Grace.
And make haste. Winter is fast approaching.
At once, Your Grace.
And here's to Mormon Green's Green Book. So it will be written, so it will be done.
Now and forever! In the way!
So my name is Lindsay Milam, and I work with Dr. Young and Mr. Calhoun on our students' play. I wanted to thank you so much for coming to our reading of the Green Book 2. Dr. Young and I would like you to give another round of applause to Mr. Cornell Calhoun III. He is such an amazingly talented playwright, and it's been a true pleasure working with him during the last few weeks as he helped our students prepare for today's performance. Dr. Young and I would also like to thank our students for all the hard work that they've put in to make this play so successful. Yes, it's part of their honors speech grade and part of their intro to drama grade, but I hope that they've enjoyed the experience as much as we have. And now to introduce you to the cast and to give them each a certificate of appreciation. Our residents, Nana Saki, Roy Allen Bumpers, India Hall, Sarah Arafat, Simone Dixon, Thamina Salim, Sakina Salim. As Mormon Green, Noel Contreras. As As the facilitator, Chevelle Connor. As King Louis, Louis Finney. As John the litigator, Matthew Jerubis. As the hand of the king, Alicia Brown. As the high visionary, Melise Hall. As Waverly Lane, India Mixon. As Edith Small, Erica Young. As one of the members of the Small Council, Lord Curry, Sawyer Redpath. As our narrator, Aaron Shreve. As announcer 2, Hope Beck. And announcer 1, Michael Willis. So, let's give them all another round of applause, please. Thanks again for attending, and have a wonderful day.